From the campus of St. Bonaventure University, you are listening to St. Bonaventure Women's Basketball here on WSBU 88.3 FM The Buzz. Today, the St. Bonaventure Bonnies are hosting the Buffalo Bulls in the non-conference finale. Hello, everybody. Nathan Solomon here, along with Thomas Baya, my color commentator, and we are here for an exciting Big Four basketball matchup here this afternoon.
Well, we know what this matchup means to both these teams. Obviously, both Western New York schools. UB on a current 3-game win streak. Last game out with a 58-51 win versus Bucknell as they will look to continue their winning ways. Bonaventure looking to snap a 3-game losing streak as they head into A10 play this weekend.
And it's kind of interesting. There's a huge discrepancy on games played. I mean, Buffalo, they're 4-4 right now. St. Bonaventure's 3-11. So this is going to be their 15th game of the season. And St. Bonaventure, they want to go into conference play, which starts just 2 days from now on Saturday against UMass on a high note and get that 4th win of the year. But last time out here, just 8 days ago, they hosted Colgate. They lost 66-52 to St. Bonaventure. Kind of the key in that game. Colgate started off on an 18-4 run. And they could never. It was insurmountable. They could never come back from that. They made a little bit of a run late, but it was really too much for St. Bonaventure after that rough first quarter.
Well, it's going to be big for St. Bonaventure to get off to a big start, and we're going to talk about that early in the broadcast. Get off to a fast start, put UB away early, and see if you can continue to step on their throats as the game goes on.
So something that has been a huge key for St. Bonaventure has been turnovers. This is. Well, not really nothing new for St. Bonaventure. Obviously, they had 29 turnovers in their opener. We've kind of seen them with a lot of games there in the 20s. How important will it be for St. Bonaventure to really cut down and stay low on turnover stat? Or do you have maybe a number of turnovers maybe in mind that St. Bonaventure should try to stay under?
Well, I don't know about a number, but I'll tell you what's big. And a big notice, we were looking here before we got on the air, looking at the starters. Brianna Ware starting at the point guard position over Lacine. This will be her first start, the freshman from Queens, from Mary Lewis Academy High School. So we'll see what she does. Obviously, a point guard by committee, according to Jesse Fleming. So this is really the first time we're seeing a lot more of that committee out of the gate.
Absolutely, and you mentioned that starting lineup. So the entire starting 5 for St. Bonaventure is Brianna Ware, Yaya Lopes, Kira Dandridge, Taylor Napper, and Nikki Oppenheimer. The two big keys here, Tiana Johnson and Maddie Duskowski out once again for St. Bonaventure. We saw both players play when they traveled down to Robert Morris and Marshall just before the Christmas holiday, and then against Colgate here last Wednesday. Just Maddie Duskowski played as Tiana Johnson got injured in practice once again. Today, both of them are out for St. Bonaventure, hoping to make a return on Saturday against UMass for that A10 opener, but certainly two important pieces out for St. Bonaventure.
Well, two big pieces for sure, and it's going to be interesting to see how does St. Bonaventure fare without these two players. Obviously, you get to see a little bit more off the bench on what your players are, because you never know. People are going to go down, people are going to get hurt, and this could be something that Jesse Fleming could find out about his team. If someone doesn't start playing well down the A10, can you have pieces that can come off the bench? And this is one of the ways you find out in these non-conference games.
Let's take a look at Buffalo here. They're starting 5. Zakiah Winfield, Jasmine Young, Emerita Mashire, Rashana Stone, and Kayla Salmons going for Becky Burke, the first-year head coach for the Buffalo Bills. She came over from 2 seasons at USC Upstate, where she was named the Big South Coach of the Year last year for a 20-plus win program, so a huge turnaround in 2 seasons there. Obviously looking to do the same here in Buffalo. Of course, Buffalo's previous head coach, Felicia Leggett-Jack, over to Syracuse, her alma mater, now taking over the helm of the Orange. But big job for Becky Burke, and so far at 4-4, she's done a pretty good job.
Well, Becky Burke, what a resume, like you mentioned. And she was a great player at the University of Louisville, went to the Final Four a couple times. Just a great resume. She had 5 Big South Conference victories. That's the most in 4 seasons, and that was just in her 2nd year. So she has a really good resume, and really looking forward to see what she can do with this UB squad. Obviously, her first year, still learning a little bit on her end about what it takes to win in the MAC, but really looking forward to seeing how she dials up some plays as this game continues.
So we are going to take a break here in the pregame show. When we come back, we'll dive a little bit deeper into this matchup, look at some team stats, and break down some of the individual performances up until this point. You are listening to St. Bonaventure Women's Basketball here on WSBU 88.3 FM, The Buzz. Welcome back to the Riley Center, where we are getting ready to go with between St. Bonaventure and Buffalo here in a non-conference finale. Nathan Sala and Thomas Baye here with you, wrapping up the last couple of minutes here of the pregame show. So we'll touch on a few key players here for each team. We'll start things off here with St. Bonaventure. Thomas, you mentioned here, Brianna Ware making a start here for St. Bonaventure here this afternoon. That kind of point guard by committee. Right now it's Brianna Ware running things at the point for St. Bonaventure. Last time out, 13 points, 6 of 7 shooting, and most of those came in the fourth quarter.
Well, she's big. She's a big player. She's a freshman, young player, so we'll have to see what she can do in this one. Obviously, some limited reps, averaging 3.5 points per game, a rebound per game, and 16 assists, so she's a really good distributor to run up top.
And then another player here that'll be crucial for St. Bonaventure, that's Yaya Lopes. Sometimes, we've seen a little inconsistent for her. Sometimes she'll have a great one great half, one half, or maybe she struggles a little bit. 8 points, 5 rebounds last time out for her. How important will it be for her to put together that complete game?
Well, it's going to be huge. And, sometimes it's rare to talk about a forward like this, but I would really describe her as the catalyst of the St. Bonaventure offense. When she goes, everybody else goes. So it's going to be really important for her to get off to a strong start and then continue that as the game goes on.
It'll also be crucial for her just to take the shots that she knows how to make. Those are a lot of those uncontested shots and shots up close to the rim. So for Buffalo, basically a completely new team Becky Burke had to bring in here after the departure of the previous head coach. But two key players here, Jasmine Young is one of them, a 5'8" graduate student from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. She's averaging 13 points per game and had 16 points last time out.
Well, a transfer from Tennessee State, averaging 13.4 points per game, 16 assists, 43% from the field. So obviously a really good player and someone who definitely knows how to score the basketball.
And then another key player for Buffalo is Zakaya Winfield, another graduate student. So even though this is really a new team, this is a pretty old team, but a huge double-double for her. 15 points, 13 rebounds last game.
It's like we're talking about the St. Bonaventure men's team. All new players, everyone coming together, trying to figure it out as they head into conference play. Obviously two people that can really score. It's almost like the Luke and Banks version of the UB women's team.
So this Buffalo team, very new, but they're starting to kind of peak together at the right time. You mentioned those 3 straight wins here. They are off into conference play in just a couple days as well in the MAC. So this is going to be a fun little rivalry game to watch. But let's take a look at some of these different team stats here as we wrap up the pregame show. St. Bonaventure so far through 14 games, averaging 53 points on offense, allowing 65 points. On average, though, this is kind of a big stat here, Thomas. Getting outscored on average by 12 points per game, when Buffalo, their margin 1.6 points, so on average they're winning a game by almost 2 points per game. So definitely some big differences there. St. Bonaventure only shooting 35% from the field, UB 43% from the field. So just kind of looking at some of those numbers here, I mean, what's the key for St. Bonaventure here to put everything together and walk away with a victory to go up to UMass tomorrow with a lot of confidence?
Well, UB has a very potent offense. As we said, we mentioned those two players who know how to score the basketball. The thing today is going to be you're going to have to outscore them. It's hard to defend this team. This is a very good team, the team that knows how to score. So when you're facing a team like that, you'd like to stop them on offense, but sometimes you just can't. You've got to be able to outscore them and get points when you can.
We are about ready to go here from the Riley Center. We are about 5 minutes away from tip. Teams are coming out to the free throw line for the national anthem. So we are going to go to break. When we come back, we will have the tip-off and the first quarter of play here from the Riley Center. St. Bonaventure, Buffalo coming up next here on WSBU 88.3 FM, The Buzz. From the campus of St. Bonaventure University, you're listening to St. Bonaventure women's basketball here on WSBU 88.3 FM. The Buzz, Ethan Solomon, Thomas Byer here to bring you all the action as St. Bonaventure hosts Buffalo in the non-conference finale. Thomas, St. Bonaventure in desperate need of a win here at 3-11, trying to go over to UMass South, the conference play slate, on a strong foot.
Well, confidence is key, and when you're hot, you're hot. Sometimes when you're cold, you're cold. This is the perfect opportunity for St. Bonaventure to get a win, not only going into non-conference play, but against a big, or a Little Four rival, I should say, in UB. Obviously a team that they play every year, a team that they are familiar with. Obviously it's a new squad, but they're used to playing UB. And a little note here, UB is 4-12 all time here at the Riley Center, so maybe that could go in St. Bonaventure's favor.
St. Bonaventure has thrived in the home court advantage. 2 of its 3 wins have been here on the Riley Center floor. Let's take a look at the starting lineups here. First for Buffalo, Zakaya Winfield, Jasmine Young, Amerita Mashire, Rashana Stone, and Kayla Salmons are the starting 5 here for Buffalo.
Well, when you look at this lineup, I know we talked about Jasmine Young, but Zakaya Winfield, 14.4 points per game, 10.8 rebounds per game, 29 assists, 48% from the field. Just an elite scorer, knows what to do. 35 minutes a game. She is a bulldog for this UB Bulls team, no pun intended.
And then for St. Bonaventure, we have another new starting lineup here for Coach Jesse Fleming. It's going to be Brianna Ware at the point guard. That's the big change here. Yaya Lopes, Kira Dandridge, Taylor Napper, and Nikki Oppenheimer. That's the starting 5, but the key once again for St. Bonaventure, no Tiana Johnson and no Maddie Diskowski here this afternoon.
Well, we talked about it a little bit in the pregame show, how it's going to be important for St. Bonaventure to see what they have besides those 2 players. Obviously 2 players who logged a lot of minutes out with injuries, so we'll have to see if other people can step up. And we'll see how long of a leash Jesse Fleming has for some of these new players that are in the lineup, especially with a new young point guard, Brianna Ware. We'll see how she fares. If she struggles early, you have to wonder how long is that leash with Jesse Fleming.
Ware had 13 points against Colgate here on December 21st. She has the hot hand. Most of those came in the 4th quarter. Tried to make the game a little bit more interesting down the stretch for St. Bonaventure, as they, of course, went down to 14 points there in the 1st quarter, and that was basically insurmountable. So we are about ready to go here from the Riley Center. Teams are starting to take the floor. Buffalo's 5, St. Bonaventure's 5 here, both leaving the bench. Buffalo in the blue away uniforms with white trim. St. Bonaventure in the home white uniforms with brown trim. And Yaya Lopes headed to the center circle with Kayla Salmons to take the opening tip. St. Bonaventure going to start things off going left to right. Buffalo right to left here in this first half of play.
Pretty good crowd here at the Riley Center too for a Little Four matchup, as everyone knows what this means. I'm sure there were a lot of people, not just myself, that came from Buffalo to watch this game, so have to see if the crowd can get into this, if St. Bonaventure gives them something to cheer for.
Here, Lopes wins the tip, tips it back to Ware, and we are underway here from the Riley Center, the non-conference finale. Ware over to the near side, Dandridge. Over to Lopes in the high post, kicks it out. Oppenheimer, corner 3-pointer off the front of the rim, rebounded by Winfield.
You gotta like it. Take open shots when you have them. Want to hit those 3s. See if you can get Nikki Oppenheimer going in the right direction early.
Winfield kicks it out to Young, and Young gets things going into the Buffalo offense. Up to Stone up top in the St. Bonaventure logo. Pick coming to the right. Kicks it out to Winfield, head of the circle, drives left around the pick. Winfield hesitates, pivots up over Lopes, and drains it.
Really good finish there. Took it all herself. Good job by Winfield. Able to get it up and over a big body for St. Bonaventure.
So Buffalo strikes first here. 1 shot, 1 make. And Brianna Ware now conducting the St. Bonaventure offense over to Oppenheimer on the far side wing. Back to Ware, and it's taken away by Winfield. The foul called on Ware. She tried to go for the ball about center court to try to knock it away, but she'll pick up her first. But not a great pass over there. Obviously got intercepted. Kind of telegraphed that one. You want to be able to look one way, then pass it the other. Definitely gave that pass away as the first turnover for St. Bonaventure. So Mashire inbounds the ball on the near side in front of the St. Bonaventure bench of Stone. Pick coming left. Stone trying to find Winfield. Can't. Finally comes to it. 20 seconds to shoot. Pick from the right. Winfield loses her dribble but gets it back. Guarded by Lopes. Over to Mashire. Mashire driving left. Over Napper. Little left-handed flip. Underneath Napper is in. It's 4-0 Buffalo.
A little circus shot there, almost underhand, almost like she was falling to the ground, but able to finish. Great finish for UB.
So quick start here for Buffalo. St. Bonaventure needing to strike back. Yaya Lopes from about 15 feet. No good. Rebounded by Winfield. Buffalo pushing the pace. Young driving with the right. Blocked by Oppenheimer. Loose ball. It's going to go in favor of St. Bonaventure.
Well, you mentioned the pace. UB really pushing the pace early Looks like St. Bonaventure is on their heels early in this game. Have to try to get back on the offense at some point.
In correction, it will stay here with Buffalo. So inbound here to Young on the near side. Up top to Mashire, guarded by Napper. Hesitates, passes over to Winfield on the far wing. Up top now to Stone. Stone, 14 to shoot, guarded by Lopes. Pick coming on the left, she'll back up, reset, inside to Mashire. Mashire, easy right-handed layup, but two strong misses, and Ware pulls down the rebound. Ware all by herself, driving right, 2 steps, kicks out to Dandridge, swings it back up top to Lopes. Lopes hesitates, gets it back to Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer thinks about the 3, but pulls out of it. Back up top to Ware, and she will reset the offense.
St. Bonaventure slowing down the pace here, 10 to shoot.
Inside to Lopes, she's just above the free throw line. 5 to shoot, gotta go quickly here. Dandridge, over to Ware, 3 to shoot, 2 to shoot, 1 to shoot. Ware with a deep three-pointer off the back of the rim and out, rebounded by Salmons.
Salmons having a really good game so far. Early on, big offensively and a good rebound defensively.
To Young now underneath the inside block, driving around. Lopes falls down, but a foul is called on Yaya Lopes.
Yeah, clear path to the basket there. Yaya Lopes doing what she can. Obviously a foul. Don't want to give up fouls, but when it's a scoring opportunity, just got tripped up there.
Early substitution here for St. Bonaventure. Caitlin Parker coming in for Yaya Lopes. So Coach Jesse Fleming not liking what he's seeing from Lopes here in these opening minutes. And St. Bonaventure will go a little bit smaller here with Napper at the 5. Inbound to Salmons, knocked away by Napper, and it'll stay here with St. Bonaventure.
And I'm a little interested with going smaller. Obviously, early on, Kayla Salmons, 6'3" forward, sophomore from Australia. We'll have to see what how St. Bonaventure's defense fares against a big body like her.
Stone inbounds to Young, back up top to Mashire, 15 to shoot. Mashire guarded by Caitlin Parker, out to Winfield now on the near side wing. Up top now to Stone. Stone driving left through traffic, over Ware, up and good.
Really nice finish there. Again, able to get it up and over.
So less than 3 minutes in, it is 6-0 St. Bonaventure and it's 6-0 Buffalo, and St. Bonaventure coach Jesse Fleming is going to call a timeout. We will go to break. When we come back, we will have the rest of the first quarter. 6-0 Buffalo, less than 3 minutes in, 7:14 remaining. You're listening to St. Bonaventure Women's Basketball on WSBU 88.3 FM, The Buzz. Welcome back to the Riley Center here in St. Bonaventure, New York. St. Bonaventure trailing 6-0 to Buffalo, less than 3 minutes in. Thomas, what have you seen so far?
Well, that was a well-used timeout by Jesse, obviously down 6-0. Right now, St. Bonaventure playing on their heels a little bit. UB really bringing the pressure, bringing the bringing the intensity more than St. Bonaventure. So if you're St. Bonaventure, get back in your wheelhouse, get to what works for you, and see if you can get points on the board.
So Bonaventure has the ball, way up top to Oppenheimer, into the high post, Napper. Napper hesitates, gets over to Oppenheimer on the far side. Pick up top now to Ware. Ware trying to find Napper down low, instead goes back to Oppenheimer. 13 to shoot. Oppenheimer, deep three off the back of the rim, and out, rebounded by Salmons.
Yeah, not a great shot there from Oppenheimer. A little deep, want to get a little closer. Still had time on the shot clock to maybe try and get something going there.
And a quick forced turnover by St. Bonaventure. Winfield couldn't handle a pass down low, and it's handled by Caitlin Parker over to Ware, into the corner, Dandridge. Back to Ware. Ware calling out the play. Pick coming right from Napper. Ware uses it, drives. Foul, but it's an offensive foul. A charge drawn by Zakiah Winfield. It's going to go the other way.
Yeah, good job by Winfield there, drawing the charge. St. Bonaventure still not on the board. So take a look at the replay there. Yep, definitely an offensive foul.
So a few more subs here for St. Bonaventure. Flo Venerte coming into the game for Nikki Oppenheimer, as well as Nadeshka Lassine, her first look at the game, in for Brianna Ware, who that charge was called against. So St. Bonaventure now up to 3 fouls here in these first 3.5 minutes, and Buffalo now has the ball here, looking to extend this lead. Rashana Stone up with it, over to Winfield here on the near side. Back to Stone, over to the far side, Young, back to Stone. Stone, one dribble, back to Young. Young now in the post, Salmons, guarded by Venerte. Deflected, but Young gets it back. 10 to shoot here. Young guarded by Dandridge. Back over to Stone. Stone drives left on Lassine. Spin move, drives left, overlopes. Short, gets her own rebound. We'll bring it back out and reset the offense. Back up top to Winfield. Over to Young. Young, deep three from the wing. No good. Rebounded once again by Stone.
St. Bonaventure not quite getting those defensive rebounds. Going to be really big as this game goes on.
Young driving right, guarded by Venerte. Bad pass, can't handle it, but Stone gets it back. Floater with 8 on the shot clock. No good. Another rebound, and fouled by Jasmine Young. Jasmine Young is fouled and is going to the lines. I believe 4 offensive rebounds that possession, all of them brought down by Jasmine Young.
Well, that was one of the longest offensive possessions I think I've watched in a long time. St. Bonaventure got to do a better job down low. Let's see if you can get some of those rebounds.
So St. Bonaventure obviously down in the rebounding category here in these opening minutes. They have 1, and Buffalo has just 8. So Young makes her first free throw here. She is a 70% free throw shooter, had 16 points last time out, averaging nearly 14 points per game. So right now 6-0 Buffalo, 7-0 Buffalo, and now 8-0 Buffalo as Young switches her second of the 2 free throws.
It's going to be interesting to watch down low between both of these 5s.
The scene up to Venerte. Venerte drives on Salmons, kicks it in. Beautiful pass to Caitlin Parker, but she misses the left-handed layup and rebounded by Amirta Mashaya, who's getting her first look here.
Couldn't get that to fall, but those are the looks you want if you're St. Bonaventure. Down low, high percentage shots.
Young on the wing, tried to drive left, but she traveled. Good defense there by Kira Dandridge.
I know that's something Jesse Fleming talks about a lot, being active on defense, as Nikki Oppenheimer will come back in.
So a short-lived stint for Flo Venerte here in these first few minutes. So another shooter in for St. Bonaventure. Oppenheimer inbounds it to Lassine. She'll get the play call from Coach Fleming. Bonaventure still looking for its first point of the game, nearly 5 minutes in. Lassine pick coming left from Lopes. And a moving screen is called on Yaya Lopes. So another foul, another turnover for St. Bonaventure. Thomas, that's already St. Bonaventure's 5th foul of the quarter.
5th foul, 5 fouls early on, not even 5 minutes left to go. Not what you want if you're St. Bonaventure. Obviously something Jesse Fleming's got to address, and it's going to be hard because then you got to keep subbing, so it's hard to get people into a groove when you're doing that.
So Buffalo will shoot free throws here for the rest of the quarter. That'll be next time, though, when they come to the line. Winfield, mid-range jumper is good. It is 9-0 Buffalo here. 5 minutes into this one.
Yeah, can't give Winfield that much space. She knows how to score. You know, St. Bonaventure knows that from scouting, and just looking at the stats, can't give her that much space.
Caitlin Parker up top to Oppenheimer, feeds it into Lopes. Lopes driving one dribble, puts up a shot, and is fouled by Kayla Salmons. So Yaya Lopes will go to the line here, looking to get the lid off the basket here for St. Bonaventure.
And that's going to be big. See, those are the type of plays you want. Give it to Yaya Lopes, let her drive, and also maybe see if you can draw some fouls. Get that foul number a little more narrow between the 2.
Yeah, and that was just Buffalo's first foul here of the game. So Yaya Lopes headed to the line here. Her first shot is up, and it's good. So St. Bonaventure first points of the game here. It's now 9-1 Buffalo with 4:38 remaining here in the first quarter. Lopes, a 78% free throw shooter.
The old saying in sports, it starts with one. They got their first point.
And sometimes free throws, that can just be the big confidence booster, just to see the ball go through the rim. So Lopes, her second is up, and it's good. So perfect trip to the free throw line for Yaya Lopes, and it's now 9-2 Buffalo.
And Latrice Perkins heading into the game for UB. 5'11 guard, 5th year. Transfer from the University of Charleston.
A lot of transfers here on this Buffalo squad for first-year head coach Becky Burke. Right now with Rashonda Stone running the point, kicks it over to Winfield, uses the pick. Trying to get out to Perkins. Perkins up top, swings it over to Stone on the near side. Back up top to Perkins, 13 to shoot. Over to Young. Back over to Perkins. Hands it off to Young. Now 7 to shoot. Buffalo has to go. Pick coming right. Young shoots a 20-footer, but it's well short. Winfield gets it up and puts it in.
Well, at some point, St. Bonaventure, you got to adjust. You see those screens coming in the high post. Got to be able to adapt to that.
St. Bonaventure coming quick, finds Oppenheimer, who drives, gets up a high layup, bounces off the rim and out. Oppenheimer pulls down her miss, kicks out to Dandridge. Dandridge a deep three off the back of the rim and rebounded by Winfield.
St. Bonaventure, not the highest three-point percentage. They seem to be relying on that a little too much.
Messiah driving on Oppenheimer, and a left-handed flip is good, and the foul.
Not what you want if you're St. Bonaventure. Missing the layup down low. As we see, Messiah here has a chance to finish the three-point play.
Buffalo, when they get into their sets, they're like nice, long, drawn-out possessions, but when they can run, they have absolutely ran. And Messiah going to the line now, three-point play, in and out, but falls back in. So it's 14-2 Buffalo, and this is basically almost a carbon copy of what we saw the other day between St. Bonaventure and Colgate. A slow start here for the Bonnies, and now it will be Adeshka Lucine, hands off to Lopes. Lopes step back, deep two, it's good. So St. Bonaventure's first field goal of the game. Yaya Lopes with 2 free throws as well, has all 4 points.
She has all 4 points. You want to keep feeding her if you can. A nice look from Yaya Lopes, able to finish it.
St. Bonaventure going to try to build off of that here. 3:20 left in the first quarter. Stone over to Young. Young guard on the far side. Pick coming left from the Shire. Goes right anyway, and she loses it. Caitlin Parker has it. 3-on-2 fast break. Parker going to try to run. Euro step layup with her left. Off the rim and out, and rebounded by Jasmine Young.
That was a layup, but it was a long layup. Want to try to get a little closer to the basket if you're going to try those layups. More of a high percentage shot for St. Bonaventure.
Inside of the cutting Messiah. She gets in the post, but it's blocked by Lopes. Kicked it back out to Young. Over to Stone now on the near side, guarded by Parker. Screen right, Stone uses it, driving right over Lopes. Blocked by Lopes, rebounded by Nadeshka Lucine, and she's going to run in transition here.
Well, Lopes doing it all so far early for St. Bonaventure.
Lucine to Lopes, back to Lucine. She'll get back into the offense now. Pick coming from Lopes, she will use it. Lucine thinks about a three, kicks to Dandridge, inside to Lopes now, guarded by Messiah. Lopes here driving on Messiah, floater is up. Wild shot, but Lopes draws the foul.
What was that I just said again? Yaya Lopes doing it all. Here she is again. Draws the foul. So I'm taking a look at it here on the replay. Really nice job.
Lopes here. The St. Bonaventure offense has really ran through her. She has been really the big playmaker for St. Bonaventure here at these opening 7 minutes and 30 seconds. So St. Bonaventure down 10 here. 2:26 remaining in the first quarter. Yaya Lopes headed back to the line. She was a perfect 2 for 2 from the line last time, just a few moments ago.
Well, we mentioned her as the catalyst in the opening. She really is. When she goes, the rest of the offense goes. If she can't nail down the first one. But Yaya Lopes, for being a forward at 6'3", she's not really your typical forward. She can still pull up from a long two and nail it, as we saw earlier in this first quarter. She's done
a great job of extending that range this summer, and she drills the second. So Lopes 3 of 4 from the free throw line here in this first quarter, and it's down to 14-5 Buffalo here. Young now up top to Stone. To the near side wing, Winfield. Up top to Stone. Back to Winfield. Winfield deep 2. Banks it in. A little baseline J there. Got enough backboard to just fall through the bucket. So it's 16-5 Buffalo.
St. Bonaventure, you just got to start closing down space a little bit on defense, giving these UB scorers way too much room to manipulate and do so much on offense.
Ware now back in on offense. She's going to drive, and she's fouled there just behind the near side block. So that'll be the third foul of the game here for Buffalo. That'll be on the floor, so no shot there. And the Bonnies will inbound underneath their basket.
And Jesse Fleming not thrilled with that one. Wanted that one to be a shooting foul.
Inbound to Dandridge, up top to Lopes here. A little bit of a mismatch, guarded by Perkins, the much smaller Perkins. Lopes inside to Napper. 13 to shoot, back to Lopes, in the corner. Lopes, deep three. In and out, and rolls in. So Yaya Lopes, an unlikely looking three-pointer. She has all 8 points for St. Bonaventure.
All 8 points. I'm going to have to think of a new word by the end of this broadcast. I call her the catalyst. She's on the offense right now.
So a big three-pointer there for Yaya Lopes now. And Buffalo will look to try to beat that 2-3 zone once again. Winfield inside, driving on the seam, wire layup, but she gets the foul.
Draws the foul. Really good job by UB there, but now what you want if you're St. Bonaventure, now you're up to 6 fouls as UB will go to the line.
Yeah, fouls becoming a little bit of a problem for St. Bonaventure. Obviously, Buffalo in the bonus here in this first quarter, but just individual numbers starting to add up as well for St. Bonaventure. Brianna Ware has 2, Kira Dandridge has 1, Napper has 1, Oppenheimer has 1, Lopes has 1, and Nadeshka Lucene has 1 as well. So the first from Winfield is up and good, so now 17-8 Buffalo with 1:20 left here in the first quarter.
Well, that's something we really talked about in the open and the pregame show is the fouls, but obviously something that's crept up on us on this game, and St. Bonaventure is getting them in bunches.
Winfield switches to second, so Buffalo now back up 10 here. 1:17 remaining here in the first quarter. Ware at the point right now for St. Bonaventure. Kicks it into Napper. Lopes moving underneath the basket. Gets it up high post. Dribbling guard on Perkins. Kicks it back to Ware here, but good defense. Ware in trouble here, but gets freed by a pick from Napper. Ware here driving to her left. Spin move. Puts a layup up. Gets the foul. Shot no good, but she'll go to the line here for 2.
Go to the line for 2, and we talked about how free throws are a nice way to get the momentum going. St. Bonaventure has an opportunity here to crawl within 8 with just under a minute left in the first quarter.
We've seen some games where St. Bonaventure has not gotten to the free throw line a lot. That has been the one thing St. Bonaventure has done well so far. Driving, being very aggressive, getting looks at the free throw line, and now Brianna Ware, who is a pretty decent free throw shooter at times. I mean, she's only at 48% on the season, but we've seen stretches here where she's made a lot of them, and that first one is up and switches through.
Number 4, Kaylin Ellis, freshman guard from Powder Springs, Georgia, in for UB.
Where second is up and good, so 2 switches there from Brianna Ware, and she will come out of the game for Caitlin Parker. It is 18-10 here, so St. Bonaventure trying to do all they can here to stay in this game. Down 8 here, looking to try to maybe cut into that before the end of this first quarter. It starts with a big stop here. And Young has it over to the near side. Ellis back up top to Young. Over there to Ogden there on the far side. Young up top. Swings it over to Ellis on the near side. 12 to shoot. Young driving with the right around the scene. Layup is up. No good. Rebounded by Lopes. St. Bonaventure here. 30 seconds left, so can't quite get the 2 for 1. Nadeshka Lucene to Parker. Back to Lucene here. And Bonaventure will slow down the offense here. Getting a command from Coach Jesse Fleming. Up top to Napper, little handoff back to Lucene. Lucene uses it, drives right around the defender. It's up and good, and gets a foul.
Wow, what a job for St. Bonaventure. Lucene, I was thinking to myself when she started driving, wait a little bit longer. You want UB to have as little time on the clock as possible, but obviously finishing the layup, a tough layup, and then drawing the foul as well. Nice job by Lucene.
So St. Bonaventure starting to get into a rhythm on offense. You're hearing a couple of defense chants there. That's the St. Bonaventure men's team getting all fired up there on the far side, kind of getting some energy here into this arena. Lucene's free throw is up, and it's good. So a 3-point play for Nadeshka Lucene. And Bonnie's, after trailing as many as 12 here in this first quarter, got it back down to 5.
Got it back down to 5. This last little 12 seconds here is going to be big. See if you can get a stop. Hold it right here within 5.
8 seconds left here. Ogden over to Young. Young thinks about it, gets it back to Ogden. Ogden, deep 3-pointer off the rim. Rebounded by Dandridge. She's going to push. 1 second left. No shot before the buzzer. And at the end of 1, St. Bonaventure trails Buffalo 18-13. We're going to take a break here. When we come back, second quarter play between the Bulls and the Bonnies. You're listening to St. Bonaventure women's basketball here on WSBU 88.3 FM, The Buzz. Welcome back to the Riley Center here. After one quarter of play, St. Bonaventure trails Buffalo 18-13, but Thomas, about halfway through the first quarter, St. Bonaventure still did not have a field goal. It looked like it could get out of hand very early. How did St. Bonaventure kind of claw back into it here in these last 5 minutes of the first quarter?
Well, I'm going to give you a football analogy here. Sometimes when it's not going well, you need your quarterback to make a special play and be Superman. Well, Ledeshka Lacine and Yaya Lopes were those players for St. Bonaventure. Obviously, Lopes with 8 points, Lacine with 3. And Lacine with a really nice job to shift the momentum for St. Bonaventure with that 3-point play at the end of the first quarter.
A couple free throws for Brianna Ware as well. So back into play here, 10 seconds in. It's Yaya Lopes up top, driving left over Perkins. Wild layup, no good. Deflected and rebounded by Winfield. She'll bring it up the court now here on this near side. Winfield driving right over Lacine. No good. Layup. And rebounded by Caitlin Parker. So another stop here for St. Bonaventure. Lacine here pushing the pace. Thinks about a three-pointer. Takes a deep two. Barely grazes the rim. And a foul is called. That will be... It'll be on St. Bonaventure.
Caitlin Parker, I believe.
Couldn't quite tell if that was a loose ball foul on Taylor Napper or if it was away from the basket. And I believe it is on Caitlin Parker there. So... that's an empty possession here for St. Bonaventure. Jasmine Young here on the near side, bringing it up for St. Bonaventure. Uses the pick, steps back, gets it over to Kaylin Ellis. Ellis, a deep three off the rim, rebounded by Yaya Lopes. Lacine bringing it up the court here. Near side, driving left, inside of Napper, who makes a power move to the hoop and finishes with the right hand. So St. Bonaventure down just 3 now, 18-15.
I was just going to say before that possession, it would be great for St. Bonaventure to get this to a one-possession game. And a really nice job by St. Bonaventure, showing their mental toughness. Obviously down big early, not getting a point for the first 5 minutes. Well, here they are, only within 3.
Perkins fires a three-pointer from the corner, no good. And a foul is called on America Mashai. She went over the back there, so St. Bonaventure now has the ball. A chance to tie things up.
Obviously, you don't need a 3. Take points when you can get them. And see if maybe we can get UB in foul trouble in this quarter. Turn the tables on them.
And a lot of times when St. Bonaventure goes down this season, they've had trouble coming back, but we joked about it a little bit in the first quarter, but this St. Bonaventure men's team in here is kind of providing that energy that this women's team has been able to feed off of. So St. Bonaventure looking to keep clawing back here. Lacine on the far side, pick coming right from Napper, trying to find it. Goes to Lopes. Lopes, deep three-pointer. That's an air ball. Saved by Dandridge. She throws it off Kaylin Ellis. And it's going to stay with St. Bonaventure, I believe. No, they're going to rule it Buffalo ball. It looks like Dandridge may have thrown it off in time and hit Ellis where it bounced out of bounds and stayed with St. Bonaventure. But they're going to say Dandridge had her foot on the line.
I thought so too, but not quite getting a replay here. It looked like it might have had her baseline foot out. We'll trust the referees. They have a better view than us.
But a very an effort regardless there for Kira Dandridge to try to keep that St. Bonaventure possession alive. But anyway, it will stay with Buffalo here. Young up top here to Perkins. Inside, trying to find Salmon. The layup is up and a foul is called.
Well, Salmon, we talked about her a little bit. That matchup down low, down on the post, able to draw the foul there. Kind of been quiet a little bit. Got subbed out in the first quarter. See what she can do here in the second quarter as Nikki Oppenheimer returns to the floor. She comes in for Kira Dandridge.
Buffalo's been scoreless here the last 3 minutes and 9 seconds. So Kayla Salmon's looking to kind of break that streak. Her first free throw is up and off the back of the rim and out. So no good. It'll stay 18-15 here with 8 minutes remaining here in the second quarter.
Salmon's a 50% free throw shooter.
And on cue, makes her second, so 1 of 2 is on par with her season average. It's 19-15 Buffalo here with 8 minutes left in the first quarter.
Stats don't lie, Nate, 50%.
Amen. Brianna Ware here, moving left, finds Oppenheimer on the far side wing, tries to feed it in the ropes, risky pass, but she gets it, kicks it to Napper. Napper, power move once again, right-handed layup is good, so the exact same play twice in a row for Taylor Napper. Both result in 2 points.
Well, if it's not broke, don't fix it. St. Bonaventure doing a good job of sticking what works. UB did that early, now St. Bonaventure giving it right back.
Young now finds Winfield. Over to Perkins in the high post, kicks it out to Ellis. Ellis deep two over Brianna Ware, and she hits a tough shot there for the freshman, Kaylin Ellis.
Nice job by Ellis getting it up and over. A tough shot, tough contested shot. 21-17 with 7.5 left.
Brianna Ware now facilitating the offense once again over to Oppenheimer, far side, back up top to Ware. Trying to feed it inside the Napper, but instead we'll reset the offense here. 10 seconds to shoot, so St. Bonaventure has to go quick. Ware in the St. Bonaventure logo, 8 to shoot. Into Lopes now, high post. Makes a move, fakes, dribbles, gets it up. No good, and rebounded by Winfield. Winfield pushes the pace, as she's been doing all afternoon. Almost loses her dribble, gets it back. Out to Young now. Young driving around Caitlin Parker, up and over Napper, and a foul was called there on Taylor Napper.
Yeah, Napper a little late to close down the space. As soon as there was a cut inside, got to cut over a little sooner. And then when you cut over late, sometimes your only resort is to foul the ball handler.
So that's St. Bonaventure's 10th foul here in just over 13 minutes of play, and that is the second here on Taylor Napper. As first from Young is up and no good. So as I was saying, fouls becoming a problem. Ware has 2 fouls, Dandridge has 2 fouls, Napper has 2 fouls for St. Bonaventure.
It's not what you want, and if you're St. Bonaventure, again, what that's going to force you to do is use a lot more people on your bench. Obviously, Jesse Flay wants to see what he has, but you let your big girls to play, your star players to play, and when they get into foul trouble, we see that a lot of times in college basketball. It can really hurt you in the end.
So Young hits the second, and Ware now has it, uses a pick, thinks about it 3, instead gets to Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer near side wing, dribbles, almost loses it, gets it back. Up top to Ware now. St. Bonaventure struggling to get the ball inside here these last couple possessions. 7 to shoot. Ware by herself. Stuck down low up top to Napper. Napper three-pointer. Got it!
Really nice three-pointer there. I wasn't sure if she was going to pull up with a little contest there, but a nice job by Napper as she goes to 7 points on the afternoon.
Taylor Napper, that was her first three-pointer of the season, so not usually a three-point shooter. And on the other end, a foul there for called on St. Bonaventure. That'll be on Brianna Ware, so that's her third foul.
3 fouls for, as we see, that Claire Cody will head in as she will sub out for Napper. So Jesse Fleming definitely using the bench a lot more than UB early on, but a lot of that does have to do with the foul trouble.
Yeah, kind of have no choice there. And Brianna Ware, your starting point guard now with 3 fouls. You see a lot of Nadeshka Lucine here, at least through the end of the first half, and now Buffalo has it here. Perkins over to Winfield on the far side, back to Perkins, inside to Young. Young dribbling around Oppenheimer. Young left-handed layup, it goes.
Nice finish there for UB, obviously making it now 24-20. Just under 6 to play. See if Bonaventure can answer.
Big field goal for Buffalo. They have struggled here these last 7 or 8 minutes here. And now Yaya Lopes up top, far wing, inside, over swung around to Lucine, into the corner now, Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer up top to Lucine, pick coming left from Cody, she uses it. Lucine drives, taken away by Winfield. She is all by herself. The only person behind her is Caitlin Parker, but a good contest. And she misses it, pulled down by Claire Cody. And Lucine now driving. She won't have numbers, kicks it out to the trailing Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer three-pointer off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Winfield, a big rebound there, pulling it away from Caitlin Parker. Now Ellis on the other end. Kicks over to Perkins. Perkins mid-range 2 off the back of the rim, rebounded by Caitlin Parker.
St. Bonaventure slow it down a little bit. Down 4, you got to get points here, get this back to a one-possession game.
A crazy sequence there the last minute or so. Kind of hard to take a breath there, but now St. Bonaventure will slow it down. Lucine driving, guarded by Winfield, and this Buffalo team looks gassed right now. 10 to shoot. Lucine, far side pick coming from Cody. Three-pointer from Lucine off the front of the rim and out. Rebounded by Ellis, but it's going to be out of bounds off of her. And it will stay with St. Bonaventure. And the Bonnies will inbound it here when we come back from break. St. Bonaventure hanging around with Buffalo here at the Riley Center. It's 24-20 Buffalo with 4:45 remaining in the second quarter. You're listening to St. Bonaventure women's basketball here on WSBU 88.3 FM. The Buzz. Welcome back to the Riley Center. St. Bonaventure trailing Buffalo 24-20 here with 4:45 left here in the second quarter. I mean, how is St. Bonaventure able to stick around here? I mean, Buffalo got to that great start. These last 10 or 15 minutes is really 10 minutes is kind of all St. Bonaventure.
Well, we thought this was going to be a blowout early, just looking at the trend, but St. Bonaventure doing a good job of starting to contest UB shots, make it harder for them on offense, and then able to find those high percentage looks. And Jesse Pelling right now hopefully going to stick with what works in terms of drawing up these plays.
So as we mentioned, foul trouble is an issue here for St. Bonaventure, so they will kind of battle that here, and the rest, at least really the whole game, but especially here in the second quarter. Now Claire Cody has it, high post. Kicks it out to Lopes in the corner. Lopes driving left. Kicks it back to Cody in the corner. 8 to shoot. Bonaventure has to go. Lopes up top, mismatch. Over to Claire Cody. Cody three-pointer, in and out. Rebounded by Winfield.
Yeah, only 7 to shoot there. Claire Cody with a corner three. Unable to get it to fall. UB in transition now.
Stone has it in the corner, and she traveled. Excuse me, that is Kaylin Ellis who traveled there in the corner. And so another turnover here for Buffalo. Those are adding up a little bit for them. They have 4 now. All really in these last couple of minutes, but St. Bonaventure trying to cut it back down to a one-possession game. Lucine has it here at point for St. Bonaventure. She's standing center court at the St. Bonaventure logo. Lopes screen coming left. She uses it. Now over to Claire Cody up top. 13 to shoot. Handoff to Caitlin Parker. With 10 seconds left, Caitlin Parker to try to make something happen here. Kicks over to Claire Cody. And off to Lucine. Lucine driving right around the defense. Up and good. Jessica Lucine with a left-hand layup, and St. Bonaventure's within 2.
Well, it looked like St. Bonaventure for a while was kind of avoiding going down low because of Kayla Solomons, but a nice job there by Lucine, able to get down low and bury at 24-22.
St. Bonaventure keeps chipping away here at this deficit. Ellis up top now, driving, guarded by Oppenheimer. Now to Stone. Stone driving around Oppenheimer. Shot fake up. A lot of contact. No foul. Kicks out to Ellis. Ellis three-pointer. Way short off the front of the rim. Rebounded and chased down by Loach in the corner. And now to Lucine. Caitlin Parker driving left. Finds Oppenheimer, but it's taken away by Stone. A great read there by Rashana Stone. And Stone's going to take it all the way to the basket. Driving around the defense. Good defense there by Claire Cody. She pulls it down. And it's going to go with St. Bonaventure.
Well, a crazy turn of events there. Looking to find Oppenheimer in the corner behind the three-point line, but a nice job by Young. Or I believe, I'm sorry, Stone it was who was able to recover that for UB. UB coming away with no points here. Still a 2-point game. You know St. Bonaventure would love to tie it here.
Lopes has it. Crazy mid-range jumper. Not a very good shot there from Yaya Lopes. That was airballed, but it was off the Buffalo defense, so it will stay here with St. Bonaventure. So good break for the Bonnies.
And you know that's something that'll drive coaches nuts. 19 seconds left on the shot clock. Kind of a off balance off your back foot. Long two from Yaya Lopes. Want to try and find a teammate there, see if you can get a better shot there.
Now Lopes here in the high post. Brings it out. Now Oppenheimer driving left, but she traveled.
And yes, she did. And if I can tell it to travel, then it is indeed a travel.
She got the handoff there from Lopes, and her feet started moving before the ball did. So that will get called oftentimes. And Buffalo has it now, trying to really find a rhythm here offensively. They've not had much of an offensive rhythm here these last 10 minutes. Inside now to Salmons. Salmons over Lopes, but Lopes got a hand on it. Lucine now has it, and they'll kind of push the pace right now. Lucine driving right, brings it out, and will reset here. Pick coming left from Lopes. She'll use it. Lopes rolling to the hoop. Instead kicks out to Claire Cody. Claire Cody three-pointer, well off the mark. Lopes tries to save it and volleys it out to Caitlin Parker.
Well, right now UB is trying to force St. Bonaventure to take longer shots, and it's working thus far.
Parker off the pick to Lucine. Three-pointer, bullseye. St. Bonaventure takes its first lead of the game, 25-24.
Well, I jinxed though. I guess I'll stop talking throughout this podcast. I say they're trying to make them force longer shots, and it was working. Well, knocking down a three there for St. Bonaventure.
Perkins from the elbow, that's good. Off a good pass there from Rashana Stone. That is Buffalo's first basket here in over 4 minutes, and their first basket that they've been assisted on all game.
Lucine doing a nice job running point here as she is carrying it up now.
Oppenheimer here from the wing. Kicks it over to Caitlin Parker up top. Pick coming from Lopes. She's going to use it. Kicks that to Lucine, far side wing. 10 seconds to shoot. Guarded by Winfield. Lucine's 6 seconds to shoot. Drives left. Step back. Offensive foul.
And the crowd and the Bonnie's men's team sitting on the sideline across from us not in love with that one. nor is the St. Bonaventure bench.
A bit of a cumulative groan here in the Riley Center here. The St. Bonaventure contingency did not like that call, and that will be Nadeshka Lassine's second foul here. So she has 2, Taylor Napper has 2, Kira Dandridge has 2, and Brianna Ware has 3. So we mentioned the foul trouble, but really the point guard position in particular, St. Bonaventure is now in some pretty heavy foul trouble. And they will play like Lassine will be in though with these last 1:16 remaining here in the first half. Perkins now swings it over to Stone. Stone driving right around Claire Cody, kicks it around. Whitfield now near side corner over to Young. Young three-pointer, it's good over Nikki Oppenheimer.
Nice shot by Jasmine Young, a 40% three-point shooter. Able to knock it down there. 29-25, just under a minute left.
Lassine driving, kicks it out to Claire Cody. Claire Cody wide open three-pointer and hits. So big response there by St. Bonaventure.
Well, a nice answer there by Claire Cody. She's taken a couple three-pointers here as she's been able to connect on that one-point game.
Stone here, if she goes quick, she can get a 2 for 1. 35 seconds left on the clock. Looks like they won't get it. Perkins now swings it around to Young. Young on the far side, inside to Winfield. Winfield mismatch there, double team to the corner, gets around it. Finds it to Perkins, who cuts, puts up a layup, no good. Rebounded by Lopes. 20 seconds left, so St. Bonaventure can hold to the last shot here.
St. Bonaventure would be great for them if they can go into half with a lead. See what Jesse Fleming has for them with 10 seconds left.
Lassine has it here. He's going to drives around Young. Right-handed layup is up and good. Nadeshka Lassine, the crafty move. And Winfield from half court. Oh, it almost went in. She banked it off the backboard, hit the front of the rim, and went out. So an incredible move by Nadeshka Lassine. Puts St. Bonaventure ahead 30-29 here at the half. We will go to break. When we come back, the halftime show here from the Riley Center. You listen to St. Bonaventure women's basketball here at WSBU 88.3 FM, The Buzz. Welcome back to the Riley Center and the St. Bonaventure women's basketball halftime show as St. Bonaventure leads Buffalo 30-29 after a wild layup by Nadeshka Lassine goes to 2 seconds left there in the half. I mean, Thomas, St. Bonaventure did not look good in those first 5 minutes. They really struggled, but the last 15 minutes of this first half, they've been the best basketball they played all season.
Well, it's been a roller coaster. I mean, early on in this game, we were talking about it. It was 8-0, if I'm not mistaken. The St. Bonaventure was down 9-0. And St. Bonaventure, it took them a while to finally get the lid off the basket, like you said. But once they did, they started to find those high percent shots, find the plays that are working for them. And a nice job by St. Bonaventure, able to find what's working and now stick it with it. But now they got to deal with foul trouble.
Yeah, that has been the huge key for St. Bonaventure right now, and just kind of going up and down the line here. I mean, Brianna Ware, the starting point guard today, has 3 fouls. Kira Dandridge has 2. Taylor Napper has 2. And Adeshka Lacine, who is leading St. Bonaventure with 10 points, also has 2 fouls. So certainly a development to keep an eye on. But let's look at some of these individual stats here, really for both teams. We will start with the leaders, and that's St. Bonaventure, who, like I said, up 1 right now. Adeshka Lacine, 10 points, a huge second quarter for her, 4 of 6 from the field, 1 of 2 from downtown. Also has 2 rebounds and 2 assists. Yaya Lopes scored the first 8 points of the game for St. Bonaventure. She's 2 for 7 from the field, 1 for 2 from downtown, and has hit 3 of her 4 free throws. Also has 5 rebounds. Taylor Napper, a quiet 7 points, but she's 3 for 3 from the field in her first 3-pointer of the year. So it's really been 3 players for St. Bonaventure that's been the scoring output, but Brianna Ware has 2 points, which is off of 2 free throws, and Claire Cody also cashed on a 3-pointer there.
Well, if you're St. Bonaventure, you want to try and get distribution on the score sheet. That way it makes it harder against your opponent to find a way to stop you. If you can have a bunch of people scoring, it makes it a lot harder to defend. So, but right now, stick with what works. Lacine with 10, like you said, and Lopes with 8. Obviously hasn't been able to get any since those first 8, but we'll have to see if St. Bonaventure can have a little more distribution. We'll see if that's possible, and it probably will be, with probably a lot more subs coming dealing with the foul trouble.
And for Buffalo, it has been Zakiya Winfield leading the way. She has 10 points off of 4 of 7 shooting. Also has 8 rebounds. So for a guard, a 5'7" guard, she's a terrific rebounder. And she has 10 and 8 here after just 20 minutes. 2 steals as well. So impressive stat line for her so far. Jasmine Young also has 7 points. She's 2 of 6 from the field with a 3-pointer. And Emerita Mashire has 5 points for Buffalo. And those have really been the main 3 scorers for the Bulls. So what have you seen out of really those 3 so far?
Well, I'll start with Winfield. Obviously, you mentioned 10 points, 8 total rebounds. One thing about her, obviously you said guard, but she can not only go down low and get rebounds, but also very good at driving the hoop on the offensive side of the ball. Sometimes coming from a guard, that can be a little harder when you're facing some of these bigger girls in the middle playing the 5, but a really nice job from her. And then looking at Jasmine Young, obviously 2 for 6 from the field, like you mentioned, 1 for 2 from 3. Really, really impressed. And she's a very good facilitator of the basketball, able to find the open person. Her and Winfield are definitely that 2-headed monster for UB.
So let's look at some of these team stats here for both teams. St. Bonaventure shooting 37% from the field. Buffalo shooting 36.7%, so essentially 37% from the field. Here's the interesting stat, though. Bonaventure 4 of 13 for downtown. From downtown, we haven't seen them shoot the 3 ball a whole lot this season. Buffalo, though, 1 of 7 from downtown. St. Bonaventure has used that 2-3 zone defense through most of this game, and it's really done a pretty good job of slowing Buffalo down.
Well, it has, and they want they want UB to shoot these threes. They want to collapse down low, make it harder, make them kick it out and shoot these threes, even if they're somewhat wide open. I think they trust themselves that they would rather have them miss those 3-pointers like they have been in this first half. So we'll see if that continues with Jesse Fleming in the second half, or if the new first-year coach for UB can dial up some new plays to find a way to get some more points.
Looking at the rebound battle, Buffalo is winning that battle 19-16 so far. They have 6 offensive rebounds to St. Bonaventure's 4. There have been 3 total lead changes, and we mentioned Buffalo led by 12 in the first quarter, and St. Bonaventure has now overcame that to take this lead here at the half. Bonaventure 6 assists to just 1 for Buffalo, so Bonaventure's had some pretty good ball movement here today. Bonaventure has 7 turnovers. Buffalo has 5, so 7's still a pretty good number for St. Bonaventure, well under their season average. And then, really, you've seen at times this game has been up and down, but only 3 combined fast break points.
Which is interesting because you're right, it has been kind of up and down. There have been quite a few turnovers by each team, but not able to get points off of, which speaks a lot about, I know it's a hockey term, but back checking, getting back into the play. And, another stat that sticks out to me, Nate, is, I'm going to quote a pretty good basketball mind named Mark Schmidt, who says, games are won down low in the paint. Well, both teams have 10 points in the paint, so really, really even there, about as even as you can get it, tied. And then Buffalo, though, has 19 rebounds to St. Bonaventure's 16.
So we will go take a break here. When we come back, we'll kind of talk about what both of these teams need to do here in these final 20 minutes of play. We have a good one here at the Riley Center. St. Bonaventure leads Buffalo 30-29 at the half. You're listening to St. Bonaventure women's basketball here on WSBU 88.3 FM, The Buzz. Welcome back to the Riley Center where St. Bonaventure leads Buffalo 30-29 at the half. And St. Bonaventure, they went down 12 in the first quarter, but it's been all them here these last 15 minutes. What have they done to really come back here in this first half, and what do they need to continue to do in the second half to walk away with a victory to close out the non-conference slate?
Well, we talked a lot earlier how UB really had Bonaventure on their heels, but St. Bonaventure did a really good job slowing the game down a little bit and playing to their pace. That's going to be really important in the second half. Who's going to dictate which pace you play at? Is it going to be Bonaventure or is it going to be UB? We'll have to wait and see what happens there, but if St. Bonaventure can play to their pace, go to the plays that they know work and that have been working, that's going to be really big.
And Buffalo hit some shots there early on, but these last 15 minutes, they've been pretty much stifled by St. Bonaventure's 2-3 zone. What have you seen out of either the St. Bonaventure zone or what has Buffalo done poorly facing that zone, and what needs to change in their attack against that zone here in the second half?
Well, to me it seems like UB is they're not quite finding the open girl, and when you're facing a zone like that, they want you to shoot the threes. So we'll have to see what the first-year coach Burke has in store for them. Obviously, a really good basketball mind with a great resume and a great playing career, so she knows what it's like playing in these games. She's been here before, not quite at UB, but at USC Upstate. So we'll see what she can dial up. I'm almost a little more interested in the coaching battle here. Obviously, Coach Jesse Fleming in his 7th season, Coach Burke in her first. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here of who can adapt to the other one more.
And then a pretty good crowd here at the Riley Center this afternoon. But St. Bonaventure, something that they really had going for them is they've been able to feed off the energy. And a lot of that energy came from this St. Bonaventure men's basketball squad. They're sitting courtside there. They've really been getting engaged in this game, and it seems like this women's team has really fed off of that, and that's been that energy has been a huge reason why they've been able to come back and take this lead at the half.
No, and we joked about it during the broadcast that the men's team was getting into it, but it is a real thing. When you play, you can just ask the men's team themselves. When you get a big break and a big dunk if you're the men's team or whatever it might be, and you get the crowd into it, you feed off that. You really do. Momentum is a real thing. Anyone that tells you that it's not is lying to you or has never played a competitive sport. Momentum is a real thing, and sometimes when the ball's down there by where the men's team is sitting, I almost kind of get sucked into watching them celebrate. They're going nuts. Some of them are playing referee, so it's really cool to see the men's team support the women's team because we know it happens both ways. So really, really cool to see.
Absolutely. So halftime show here is complete. We're about ready to get back into action here in just a few minutes from the Riley Center where the Bodies lead 30-29 over the Bulls. We will go to break, and when we come back, Nathan Solid, Thomas Byer will have the second half of action for you. You're listening to St. Bonaventure Women's Basketball here on WSBU 88.3 FM, The Buzz. Welcome back to the Riley Center for the second half of action between the Buffalo Bulls and the St. Bonaventure Bodies. So Bodies lead 30-29 here after 20 minutes of play. What are you looking for in the second half? And what's the key for really both teams together to come away with the victory?
Well, right now for St. Bonaventure, like I said, you want to play at your own pace, but it's going to be really important when they start to collide on you, when you start to drive low, which has been working for St. Bonaventure. They're driving the hoop really well. When they when they start to collapse on you, like UB most likely will, it's going to be important to find the open person outside, and it doesn't even have to be a three-point shot. You could dish it out and maybe hit a long two. So we'll see if St. Bonaventure can do that. And for UB, it's just going to be important for them to, again, find the open girl, but find those high percentage shots. They're really not quite doing that early, and I really liked when UB was playing early on when they were up 9-0. I think we settled on. I know it was kind of seems like forever ago when they were up 9-0. Now that Bonaventure's up 1, but when UB was forcing turnovers and being a lot more active defensively, that was when the game was going in their favor.
So here in this second half, St. Bonaventure will go from right to left. Buffalo will go from left to right, and Buffalo will start the second half here with the ball. Bashire inbounds to Young, and we are underway here in the second half from St. Bonaventure, New York. Bonaventure lead 13-29, and St. Bonaventure returns with that 2-3 zone, and Stone now on the far side, back to Young. Young inside the Winfield. Winfield mid-range jumper up and good. So Buffalo wasting no time here in this second half. Strikes first.
And those are the looks we're looking for. It's that play with that little mid-range two, and the high picks have really been working well for UB.
So Bonaventure will look to respond here. It's Brianna Ware. Same five really for St. Bonaventure starting things off in the second half. And Lopes trying to find Napper down low, but throws it out of bounds. So a forced turnover for Buffalo here, just 30 seconds in.
Oh, in a tight game like this, one thing you don't want is turnovers. Hopefully that's not going to be a trend that continues in this second half for St. Bonaventure.
And we've seen it add up at times for St. Bonaventure. Obviously they're hoping that will not be the case here this afternoon. Young has it now, guarded by Ware. Again, Ware has 3 fouls. Throws it inside, knocked away by Taylor Napper. St. Bonaventure 3-on-2 has numbers. Oppenheimer on the far side. Thinks about a 3. Instead, we'll find Napper up top. Ware will come and get it and get into the offense here. Ware dribbles it to the near side. Finds Napper up top, over to Lopes. Lopes far side. Pick coming, Dandridge up top. Dandridge thinks about a 3. 10 seconds to shoot. Hands off to Napper. Napper finds Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer 5 to shoot. Back to Napper. Over to Oppenheimer. 3 to shoot. 2 to shoot. 1 to shoot. And it's blocked. So shot clock violation. Not a good possession for St. Bonaventure.
Not a great possession there. Wasn't able to get the looks. And, sometimes we want to say, well, it's the offense's, fault for not getting in the rhythm there. But a good job by UB's defense. Obviously marking up every single person that was trying to cut loose. They tried to make cuts, but a good job by UB to swap defenders and take away any chance that that St. Bonaventure had.
So Buffalo leads 31-30 here, a minute and a half into the second half. Winfield finds Stone. Stone driving, swooping around Napper, kicks it back out to Young. Young three-pointer off the back of the rim, rebounded by Kira Dandridge, and she will run with it. Hands it back to Ware. Ware on the far side to Dandridge. Dandridge in the corner, driving with her left, puts up a wild floater, hits the backboard and no rim. So rebounded by Winfield, over to Stone. Stone driving around Napper, floater up with her left, lays it off the glass and in.
Off the glass and in, and St. Bonaventure had 2 people there. Neither of them able to close down the space enough. So now UB is back up to 3. St. Bonaventure still without a point here in this second half.
Napper up top, hands it off to Ware. Ware drives left, hesitates, thinks about it, gets it up, and that shot is blocked. That may have been Young, and rebounded by Kayla Salmons. And Buffalo coach Becky Burke screaming, push it, push it. Young pushes it. Misses the right-handed layup, but pulled down by Stone. Stone will dribble it back out and reset the offense. That ball did not hit the rim, so shot clock won't reset. Stone drives, uses her left, and finishes. So 6-0 right here to open up this second half. Jesse Fleming calls timeout, and he is not happy.
Not happy, almost looking a little flabbergasted on his end. Just looking like he's not sure what's going on. St. Bonaventure not playing well defensively, not closing down space, and just making it way too easy for UB.
We'll go to break. When we come back, we will have the rest of the third quarter here on WSBU 88.3 FM, The Buzz. Welcome back to the Riley Center. St. Bonaventure trailing the Buffalo 35-30. So Buffalo, this first 2 minutes and 30 seconds here of the second half, come out strong with a 6-0 run, kind of taking away that energy. What have you seen out of the Bulls here these last 2 minutes, 30 seconds?
Well, to me, it's more of what I haven't seen from St. Bonaventure. I haven't seen them be active defensively. They've just let UB drive and have their way with them down low. And right now, if you're St. Bonaventure, Jesse Fleming, we're looking at him as he called that timeout with a look of confusion, of frustration, and just about any other emotion you can think of. And obviously, almost a look of like, this isn't what I talked about at halftime. So we'll see if St. Bonaventure can answer here. Good job by Jesse to stop the momentum, and well, we'll see if St. Bonaventure can come back yet again.
Yes, and Adeshka Lacine will be in here in the second half. She has 2 fouls. Far side Lacine. Now to Napper, handoff, gets it back. Drives right, gets it back to Napper up top. Swings it over to Dandridge on the near side, 13 to shoot. She's trying to find Lopes, but can't. Finally does in the corner. 10 to shoot. St. Bonaventure has to go. Wild pass and thrown away. It'll go to Buffalo. Bad passer by Yaya Lopes.
Yeah, bad pass, kind of a really long pass, looking way up top to try to restart the offense. But, well, we talked about turnovers piling up for St. Bonaventure, and they're starting to here in the second half.
Yeah, it's a tough start here for St. Bonaventure in this second half. Like you mentioned, they're looking for those first points here of the second session. Young drives, little pivot, and a little flip over her head. A layup is good. So Buffalo now up 7, continuing it to an 8-0 run.
Nice little move there by Stone, able to get that one up and over St. Bonaventure, kind of behind her head there with the underhand layup.
Lacine driving, kicks it to Dandridge, gets her off balance inside of Caitlin Parker, airballs that layup, and rebounded by Winfield. She has a double-double now. Stone driving around Lopes, kicks it out to Mashire. She can't handle it, but gets it back. Stone trapped, deflected, gets it back, driving, wild dribbles. St. Bonaventure's going to fall on it. Dandridge gets it, flips it back to Caitlin Parker, and St. Bonaventure will run 3-on-3 here. Lacine driving, will pull it out instead. And look to find Taylor Napper up top. Over to Lacine there. She'll backpedal and reset the offense. Up to Lopes, high post. We've seen her there a lot today. Kicks it out to Dandridge. Dandridge, wide open three-pointer. Swish! St. Bonaventure need that one, Thomas.
They did need that one, and St. Bonaventure slowed down that possession. When you slow it down, it's often a good idea if you can get those high percentage looks. A really good job from St. Bonaventure to get that wide open three, and then a nice job by Dandridge to knock it down.
Dandridge's first points of the game, and on the other end, a three-pointer from Young is airball, but Stone will get it back in the corner, flips it back out to Mashire. Mashire now over to Stone in the corner. Driving on Lopes, pivots, gets it back to Mashire. Mashire contested three-pointer, no good, and rebounded by Young. Young, wild shot up as the shot clock expires, and it'll be a shot clock violation. So none of the shots from Buffalo hit the rim, and a good defensive possession there for St. Bonaventure.
Well, that's something you need, something that you can use to turn into positive momentum for yourself. Down 4 with 5:20 left here in the third quarter.
Here's Lacine.
Down 4, excuse me.
She has it, pick coming from Napper. Lacine, a little bit of an icer here, driving around Salmons, now double team down low. Trying to find Dandridge. Dandridge is wide open. She shoots again. Off the side of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Salmons, and a foul called on the floor on Taylor Napper. That's her third.
That's number 3 for her. Obviously not what you're looking for St. Bonaventure. A lot of people in foul trouble here, as here comes Claire Cody off the bench.
She will come in for Napper, so now 2 different bodies with 3 fouls. That would be Bonaventure starting center and starting point guard, so a little bit of a distribution there for some of these fouls, but regardless, bodies stay in foul trouble, and now Buffalo here has it. Stone over to Young on the wing, back up top to Stone, swings it around to Winfield, inside to Salmons. Salmons dribbles up over Lopes, off the glass, no good. Lopes trying for the rebound, it'll be deflected off of Young, and it will go to St. Bonaventure. So they'll have it here after this break. We'll be back from the Riley Center where St. Bonaventure trails 37-33 to Buffalo. You're listening to Bonnie's Women's Basketball on WSBU 88.3 FM, The Buzz. Heading back to the Riley Center, St. Bonaventure trailing Buffalo 37-33 here with 4:47 left here in the third quarter. So a neat little anecdote here from the St. Bonaventure Athletics Communications. So Yaya Lopes had 4 blocks in the first half, and she moves into sole possession of third place on the Bonnie's all-time block list with 92 rejections, moving past Gabby Richmond, who graduated in 2017.
That's an interesting stat.
One of the most prolific shot blockers in St. Bonaventure's history, keeps climbing the ranks.
Pretty cool to hear. Didn't know she was that close. Very cool to hear. Obviously, a big weapon on defense for St. Bonaventure.
So here we go. Lacine has it here, looking to cut it back down to single digits. Dandridge hands it back off to Parker. Parker drives left over Salmon's floater, well short, and rebounded by Winfield. Her 12th rebound of the game. Winfield swings it around to Stone. Closed out by Claire Cody, so no shot. Back up top to Winfield. She will reset the offense, hands it back over to Young. 15 to shoot, pick left, uses it, hands it back to Winfield up top. Back to Young, so a little back and forth between Winfield and Young. 8 seconds to shoot. Pass inside to Mashire, and a foul is called there. Believe that'll be on Caitlin Parker, so a little bit of a mismatch.
Yeah, only her second. One of the few bodies that seems to not be in foul trouble, but right 20 seconds here.
Bonnies are at 14 fouls now as a team. Inbound now. Stone in the corner. Drives. Taken away by Yaya Lopes. St. Bonaventure has numbers. 3-on-2. Lopes will run the far side. Swings it back up top to Lacine. Back over to Lopes in the corner. Shot fakes, dribbles, drives. But she traveled. The feet moved before the ball, so it'll go the other way.
Yeah, Yaya Lopes kind of faked out that 3. Obviously wasn't going to take that there. Tried to get something going inside. Unfortunately, yet another turnover.
Those unforced errors adding up for St. Bonaventure here in the second half. Now slowing down that UB offense. They like to run a lot, but other times they just slow down all the way to the end of the shot clock. Young has it now, guarded by Caitlin Parker. Up top to Winfield. Winfield drives on the scene. Little floater is up off the backboard and no good. Rebounded by Kira Dandridge.
It's been a long scoreless streak for both teams, still at 37-33.
Dandridge tried to thread the needle inside to the cutting Caitlin Parker, but Buffalo got a couple of hands on that and knocked that out of bounds. It'll stay here with St. Bonaventure.
Good job by St. Bonaventure being active. Sometimes you don't have to be quite in the way to make a play. Just getting your hand, getting fingertips on it can be enough. Nice job by UB.
Lacine inbounded to Dandridge. Back to Lacine here. 18 seconds on the clock. Lacine inside to Lopes. 10 to shoot at the high post. Double team. Flips it back to Lacine here. Drives right. Tripped up. Foul call as she tried to drive underneath the basket.
Yeah, waiting to see where that foul was. We take a look at it here. Stepped inside. That's going to get called all day long on UB.
Looked like it could have gone either way. It's just out of bounds or a foul, but St. Bonaventure gets the foul. A fresh 20 on the shot clock. Lacine here up top. Pick coming from Claire Cody. She uses it, goes left. Out to Lopes. Wide open three-pointer from the wing. Off the back of the rim. And rebounded down by Young. Young will push the tempo of the court. Threads it past Lacine. Now out to Mashire. Mashire three-pointer. Too strong and rebounded by Salmons. Stone with it up top. It's over to Coach Becky Burke for the command here. 13 left to shoot. Now 10 to shoot. Stone still has it. Walking to her left. 6 to shoot. Inside to Salmons. Over to Winfield. Winfield drives right. Guarded by Claire Cody, but a double dribble is called on Zakiah Winfield, and it's going the other way.
Well, sometimes we talk about officials, what will they call, what won't they call. One thing that officials are usually pretty consistent about, double dribbles and travels. So good turnover idea for St. Bonaventure, as now they have a chance to get some points, as we've had a scoring drought here.
Yeah, I've been stuck on 37-33 for quite a long time here. Lopes high post, little swoop, and a layup is no good, but a foul will be called, so Lopes will go to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, that's going to be on Mashire. That's going to be her third, as UB is sending in Latrice Perkins. As out goes Mashire with her third.
So Lopes here, 3 of 4 from the free throw line here this afternoon. All of those came in the first quarter. Lopes been scoreless since the first quarter. Scored the first 8 points, has not scored since. Lopes, her free throw is up and drains it. So down to a 1-possession game now, 37-34 here. First points for either team in nearly 4 minutes. So that's that drought you were talking about there, Thomas. And Lopes here at the line, gets ready for her second. 2 dribbles, it's up, and it's good. So perfect trip to the free throw line. Lopes now 5 of 6 this afternoon, and it's 37-35 Buffalo.
Well, we talked earlier how free throws can be a nice momentum shift for you as a team, but for Lopes as a person, seeing those balls go through the hoop, see if that can get her going as the second half continues.
Young swings it around to Stone in the wing. Inside to Winfield, has trouble with the pass, but gets it back. Finds Young, who cuts. Tries to reverse, but no good off the bottom of the rim. Rebounded by Parker and outlet it to Lacine. Lacine has it here on the near side, guarded by Winfield, but she's going to slow things down. Winfield playing back here. Finds it up to Dandridge up top. Now Lopes, high post, thinks about it. At the free throw line, needs help though, 10 seconds to shoot. Dandridge in the corner, fires up the three-pointer. It's good! Kira Dandridge rattles the three-pointer home. It's St. Bonaventure on a 5-0 spurt, takes a 38-37 lead.
Well, nice job there by Lopes. Looked like she was going to shoot it. Sometimes when you knock down some free throws, you want to continue to shoot well and maybe take a contested shot. Nice job to kick it out. St. Bonaventure with a 1-point lead.
Kira Dandridge has 2 3-pointers now for St. Bonaventure. And now with 12 seconds to shoot for Buffalo, Winfield has it up top, kicks it over to Perkins. Perkins fakes, dribbles, drives, kicks it back out to Stone. Stone three-pointer off the back of the rim, rebounded by Young. A great rebound, but triple team. Gets it out, guarded by Claire Cody. Try to find it inside, but instead goes to Perkins up top. Dribbles, hands it off to Winfield. Winfield 10 to shoot, driving on Caitlin Parker, threads it inside to Young. Young, tough layup, no good. Rebounded by Salmons, puts it up, no good. Rebounded by Lopes and a toss-up for the ball. It's going to be a jump ball, and it's going to be St. Bonaventure possession.
On that jump ball, Lopes kind of went into a little bit of a corkscrew there. As we look at that, nice job by St. Bonaventure.
And a terrific rebound by Lopes, too. I mean, Salmons is very tall, has a lot of size down there, and Lopes was able to hold on to that one and force the possession here for St. Bonaventure. So those are the extra possessions that matter here. And 40 seconds left here in the third quarter. St. Bonaventure can go 2 for 1 if they go quick. Inside to Lopes, tries to hand it back to Caitlin Parker, but instead gets to her at the three-point line, kicks out to Claire Cody. Claire Cody, corner three-pointer, left it about 3 feet short, pulled down by Winfield, and now Buffalo has numbers. 2-on-1. Stone inside to Winfield, tough layup, it goes. Zakaya Winfield with a tough finish, and St. Bonaventure now can hold for the last shot if they so desire to. Dandridge has it, back to Lacine now. 10 seconds to shoot. Bonaventure down 1. Pick coming from Lopes to the left. She'll use it. Claire Cody, three-pointer off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Young. Young, 1 second to shoot from nearly half court. No good. Hit the backboard center on, but bounces away. And Buffalo takes a 1-point lead here into the fourth quarter. We have got a good one here at the Riley Centers. 39-38 Buffalo. Last 10 minutes coming up next here on WSBU 88.3 FM. The Buzz. Welcome back to the Riley Center here. St. Bonaventure trails Buffalo 39-38 here with 10 minutes to play. And Thomas, player that stood out for Buffalo is Zakiya Winfield. She is turning defense into offense. She has 14 points and 13 rebounds.
Well, I'll give the audience here a little taste behind the velvet rope. We're sitting here in the break, and I said to you, Nate, I go, am I reading that right? 13 rebounds for Winfield. Not a quiet 13, but a very impressive number. 13 rebounds, 14 points, and hate to repeat what you said, but I couldn't have said it better. Turning defense into offense.
So here we go. Young has it for Buffalo to start off the fourth quarter. Over to Stone. Stone here feeds it over to Salmons. Hand off to Stone. Stone dribbling right. Blocked by Yaya Lopes. Stone gets it back though. Tries to put up a wild shot, and Caitlin Parker snatches it. She's running it on the near side. Finds Lopes. Oh, she had a wide open lane to the basket, but she couldn't handle the pass. That'll go out of bounds. Off of the Bonnies. Buffalo basketball.
And those are turnovers that not necessarily you definitely don't want, but you can almost kind of live with. You know, obviously on a fast break, trying to connect there, just unable to. Bonaventure down 30 seconds into this fourth quarter.
And that would have been a high percentage look there for Yaya Lopes. So missed opportunity for St. Bonaventure here. Stone has it for Buffalo, Pick coming from Salmons on the right. She's going to use it. Weaves around her. Finds Winfield on the cut. Wide open right-handed layup for Zakiya Winfield. She's at the 16.
Well, we haven't seen a backdoor cut in a while from UB. Started to see it there. We'll see if UB will start to go back to that a little bit more. Bonaventure's going to have to find a way to defend that.
Racine has a deep two-pointer. Not a good shot there. She misses that well short and rebounded by who? But Zakiya Winfield. Stone driving around, floater over Taylor Napper, in and out, off the hand of Latrice Perkins, but they're going to say Yaya Lopes touched it last, so it will stay with Buffalo.
Well, right now it's going to come down to who can execute more. Both teams getting looks. It's just going to see who can finish, who can execute, and who can continue, and who can, we got a little foul here.
Foul on the inbound play, I believe that would be on Salmons. It's going to go the other way, so St. Bonaventure is going to have it here.
And a good break there for St. Bonaventure. That was on Perkins, I believe.
So she pushed off a little bit, trying to go get that one. Instead, it'll be St. Bonaventure basketball. Napper has it at the free throw line. Lopes here on the near side, hands it back to Napper. Napper to Caitlin Parker here, guarded by Young. Dandridge up to Lopes in the high post, 10 to shoot. She has a mismatch guarded by Perkins. Caitlin Parker in the corner, drives, wild layup, air ball, rebounded down by Salmons.
Yeah, just some ugly shots from St. Bonaventure. Credit to UB though, closing down space, forcing them into those ugly shots, but for St. Bonaventure, got to try to find something.
Winfield drives, kick out Stone. She missed it, tried to get her own rebound, but she had a foot on the line, so it'll go to St. Bonaventure.
And I'm looking here at St. Bonaventure, number 11, Dandridge is saying to Jesse, I can't hear you. So Jesse Bones, you have to start yelling the plays a little bit louder. Full loud in the Riley Center here today.
Fun environment here for some rivalry, non-conference action here in St. Bonaventure, New York. Bonnie's down 3 here. Racine drives right, offensive foul. That'll be on, I believe, Kira Dandridge there. Try to set a pick, but they're going to say she was moving, and yes, that will be on Dandridge.
And that's her third. So Dandridge, as well as Napper, both with 3 fouls. Well, we're waiting for it. Only 8 minutes left, so we'll see at what point this foul trouble really starts to get into play when someone gets to 4.
And Brianna Ware also has 3 for St. Bonaventure. We have not seen a whole lot of her in the second half. She got the start today at point guard, but it's been a great game for Nadeshka Lassine, who has 10 points. But now Buffalo looking to try to extend their lead to 2 possessions. They are up 3. Mashire over to Winfield, starting 5 in the game right now for the Bulls. Up top here, Stone. Stone drives right, guarded by Napper. 10 to shoot. Up top to Winfield. A couple of mismatches here. Hit coming from Salmons, guarded by Lopes. Winfield deep 2 off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Yaya Lopes.
Good job by Yaya Lopes to contest that shot. Got the hand right up there, make it a lot harder for UB to make those shots with big Yaya Lopes standing in front of you.
Lopes swings 3-pointer. Got it. Tie game with 7:22 remaining.
A stop and a bucket from Yaya Lopes. There's that word catalyst again, making the team go. And she's not afraid to carry this team on her back if she has to. Nice job by Yaya Lopes on both ends of the court.
Winfield has it, screen by Salmons, user that moves left. Over to Stone, far side. Screen again from Salmons, goes the other way. Pivots, feeds it out to Young, guarded by Lassine. 10 seconds, Young here on the near side, trying to find a way in, driving in, moved her feet, no call. And a timeout is called by Becky Burke. So a broken possession for Buffalo. St. Bonaventure thought there may have been a travel on the drive there, and I might agree with that, but no call here. And now Becky Burke will have break here to draw up a play, and we are going to go to break as well. So we're listening to St. Bonaventure women's basketball. When we come back, we will have the conclusion. Knotted up at 41 with 6:54 remaining. Welcome back here to St. Bonaventure, New York, where we have a great game here. 41-41, 5 seconds left on the shot clock for Buffalo. Inbounding will be Stone. Stone gets it into Winfield. Winfield drives, 3 seconds to shoot, pulls up over Dandridge. She gets an elbow jumper to go. Buffalo takes that 43-41 lead.
Well, let's give credit to Becky Burke on that one, drawing up a nice little play, waiting and being patient down there on that inbound, able to get a 2-point lead for UB.
Lacine driving around Salmons, misses the left-handed layup, jump ball, it'll stay with the bodies. And Coach Jesse Fleming thought there should have been a foul of some sort. He is not happy with that call, but it will stay with St. Bonaventure here. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Not exactly sure what in particular he was upset about, but he did want a foul.
He did want something, and a lot of times, when the possession arrow switches, it can be big in these really close games.
And now to Caitlin Parker, hands off to Lacine, 6:28 remaining, Bonnie's down 2. Lacine 10 to shoot, she has it on the far side wing. Dandridge coming up, catches it head of the circle, inside to Napper, 5 to shoot, Bonnie's have to go here. Dandridge driving, 1 to shoot, layup, no good, did not touch the rim, so it's a shot clock violation.
And I applaud St. Bonaventure for, taking it down, having these long, drawn-out possessions to try to get the look they want, but it almost seems like sometimes they don't realize that the shot clock is getting low until there's 5 seconds left. If you're St. Bonaventure's bench, you got to start doing that countdown at 8 or 10 seconds.
Absolutely. So not a good possession there for St. Bonaventure. Buffalo here looking to extend on their lead. Stone has it. Trying to find Winfield, but good defense by Lacine. Finally finds Winfield in the logo. Pick coming from Salmons. Instead goes the other way. Finds Mashire in the wing. Mashire 2 steps, dribbles. Finds Salmon inside. And Salmons, the taller player gets the finish, and Buffalo is up 4.
Salmons then moves her to 3 points on the day. Kind of been quiet so far. Looked like she could be a real threat early. See if they can get her going as this game goes on.
Lopes three-pointer well off the mark and pulled down by Winfield. So another not great possession for St. Bonaventure. And Buffalo will look to tack on to this lead here. 5:30 remaining. They are up 4. Pick coming from Salmons. Stone uses it, driving over Napper. Wild layup, no good. Rebound by Stone, but she throws it right to Yaya Lopes. And Nadeshka Lassine will push the pace. Driving over Mashire, and it's going to be an offensive foul.
You'd be happy about that one. Jesse Fleming voicing his displeasures.
Lassine slow to get up, but she appears to be okay here. So with 5:14 left, Claire Cody's going to come into the game here for Taylor Napper. So St. Bonaventure is going to go a little bit smaller here.
Yeah, right now down 4, you got to try to get points. It's going to be hard down low with Yaya Lopes and Kayla Salmons. I think that's going to be a big matchup. Only 2 fouls for Bonaventure, 1 for UB, so neither team in the bonus. That can be a big thing in these close games.
So 20 seconds to shoot here. Winfield has it over to Stone. Stone thinks about driving, instead goes back to Winfield. Pick coming from Salmons, goes the other way, back to Stone. Stone three-pointer, drains it over Nadeshka Lassine, and Buffalo takes its largest lead of the second half at 7.
Yeah, it's a big, big three-pointer for UB. 7-point lead with 4:40 left to go here in the fourth quarter.
Now St. Bonaventure needs to refocus, get into their sets here, not panic. 4:36 remaining, Lassine has it. Moving screen, offensive foul going the other way for the Buffalo Bulls.
Wow, that's not what you wanted for St. Bonaventure. And I looked right at Coach Becky Burke, and she was about as fired up as the players, getting them fired up on the bench. Obviously, Becky Burke, a former player. She knows what the emotions of the game are like. Seems like she lives and dies with each loss, so I'm sure these UB players absolutely love her.
So Bonnie's down 7 here. It's 48-41, exactly 4:30 left here at the Riley Center. St. Bonaventure looking to rally late here. Bonnie's have made just 3 shots here in the second half. Young has it near side. Instead goes over to Winfield. Winfield up top, 10 seconds to shoot. Pick coming from Salmons. Drives left, drives right now. Feeds it inside, terrific pass to Young, and she converts the layup. Buffalo up 9.
Up 9, and Coach Jesse Fleming, only 2 timeouts left, and he is going to use one here. You have to at this point. Down 9, 4:02 left, so Coach Jesse Fleming only with 1 timeout remaining for the rest of this game.
And this one's just a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay here. So Thomas, inside that huddle for St. Bonaventure, what is the message right now?
Well, the message right now is there's not need to panic yet. 4 minutes is a lot of time in basketball, but you got to do your job. You have to get stops. We need a stop at a bucket. We saw Yaya Lopes do that a couple minutes ago with a big stop and then a big 3. Right now, you just want to not panic. And for UB, well, the message is pretty simple. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop.
UB has played quite well here in this fourth quarter, a 9-0 run. And the last 3 minutes and 21 seconds, St. Bonaventure just 3 of 17 from the field here in this half. So Bonnies have struggled offensively, but now is the time for them to turn around their misfortunes. Very important stretch in the game. And St. Bonaventure, they need to score here. 4:02 left, and Nadeshka Lassine's going to have it. She inbounds to Claire Cody. Back to Lassine. She dribbles it off her foot, and she dives on it, and a foul will be called. I believe
that's going on Winfield.
So Winfield is up to 3 fouls now, so lucky break for St. Bonaventure there. Lassine just dribbled it right off her foot. Trying to inbound it now, right in front of Coach Fleming, inside. Hands it off to Cody, gets it back. Dandridge now up top. Over to Lassine. Lassine thinks about a 3, drives over Salmons, and she swats. Ball goes out of bounds, so we'll stay with St. Bonaventure.
Well, Salmons, that's a tough person to drive in on and try to get a ball over her. Salmons with a big block and kind of a little bit of a stare down at the end there.
Her second block of the game as well. And now Brianna Ware inbounds to Dandridge. 11 to shoot. Lopes up top inside to Claire Cody. High post. Cody, 1 dribble, hands it off to Ware. 6 seconds left. Bonnies have to go here. Ware dribbling, working on Young. Tough layup. Hits all three sides of the rim and finally dropped down. Tough finish by Brianna Ware.
Tough finish and a really, really good one at that. Brianna Ware, the 5'8 freshman, showing what she can do.
So Bonnies break the cold spell. They're down 7 with 3:26 remaining. Stone drives, kicks it back out to Mashire, but it goes out of bounds. So a big quick stop for St. Bonaventure, and they can get it down to 4 here. They trail by 7 with 3:20 remaining.
Well, when you're down they were 9 with 4:02 left, sometimes you need some breaks, and a good break there for St. Bonaventure with a UB turnover. Got to try to come away with the points here as any way you can. Maybe drive down, see if you can get a foul, whatever you have to do.
So Ware's running point right now. Lucine is at the 2. Ware kicks over to Cody, back over to Ware. Ware back to Cody, far side wing. 13 to shoot. Ware's going to have to come and get it. Good defense there by Salmons. 10 to shoot. Ware has isolation, drives, kicks out to Cody. Yaya Lopes, wide open three-pointer. Off the front of the rim. And rebounded by Claire Cody. Top up for the ball. It'll be a jump ball. That one will favor Buffalo.
Yeah, that one's going to favor UB. Good hustle play by Claire Cody. Yaya Lopes just unable to connect on the three-point shot as Taylor Napper returns for St. Bonaventure as Claire Cody heads to the bench. 2:50 left. St. Bonaventure down by 7, 50 to 43.
And he could not have gotten a much better look than that for Yaya Lopes. Wide open, top of the key. She was just not able to convert that one. That would have been a huge shot for St. Bonaventure. But Buffalo has it now. 2:50 remaining, down 7. They trap Young in the corner, and Coach Becky Burke immediately calls timeout. St. Bonaventure did a great job of double teaming Stone. That was Rashada Stone there in the corner.
And smart by Jesse Fleming to start going to that full court press. Obviously down 7 and making Coach Burke use the timeout there. Obviously now she has to address attacking that full court press. I know the old adage is long and opposite. That's the big adage with defeating the full court press. So we'll see what UB can do here.
So yeah, Coach Becky Burke quickly drawing up a few full court sets there to try to break that defense from St. Bonaventure, which has absolutely stifled Rashada Stone there in that far side corner. And St. Bonaventure will need to force some turnovers here. Buffalo is up to 15 turnovers. Actually, both teams are at 15 turnovers here in this game, but really St. Bonaventure going to need to force some turnovers here and translate that into some easy offense. But here we go. Jasmine Young inbounding on the far side. Defended by Yaya Lopes, trying to get it in. She has trouble, finally gets it into Stone. Back over to Young. Finally breaks the full court pressure over to Winfield, and now Winfield will slow it down. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Back over to Stone up top.
You know UB's going to try to drag all these possessions out.
Guarded by Dandridge, back over to Winfield now. 10 seconds to shoot. Winfield driving, guarded by Ware. Good defense by Ware. Winfield in the post. Little hook shot blocked by Dandridge, but a foul is called.
Yeah, Jesse not in love with that call at all. And on a quick look, I haven't seen the replay yet. Looked like he might have a case.
Looked like a lot of ball. There may have been a little bit of contact, but at least from our angle here at about center court, it looked like it was mainly all ball. But anyway, Zakiah Winfield will go to the line here for 2 shots.
77% free throw shooter coming into this one.
Versus up and off the back of the rim, so a pretty rare miss there from Zakiah Winfield. Winfield getting set here for her second. It is up, and it switches. So Buffalo up 51-43 here, 2:23 remaining in this game.
And now you got to start to push the envelope if you're St. Bonaventure.
Napper drives all by herself and lays it in. Good take there from Taylor Napper. Bonnie's cut it down to 6.
Good quick possession there, getting points any way you can. Good job by Napper to realize that lane was open.
Stone driving, had a little bit of a lane to the basket, but instead pulled it out. Did not want to shoot over the much taller Taylor Napper. Stone has in the logo, pick coming from Salmons. Hands it back to Salmons, 13 to shoot. Finds it inside to Mashire. Mashire in the post over Dandridge. Good defense, but she gets the left-handed layup to go. Buffalo up 8 here, 1:48 remaining. Bonaventure has to start pushing the pace.
Good job by Mashire there, up to 7 points. You're right, Bonaventure has to start pushing the pace. And then you have to wonder when the foul game comes into play.
Napper by herself does it again, a mid-range jumper. Nobody picked her up, and she converted once again. So back to 6 now for St. Bonaventure.
See if they keep going to Napper when they get back on offense here.
Stone trapped back over to Winfield, and she's just going to hold the ball here, center circle. Going to drain out as much time as possible. 14 left here on the shot clock. Winfield guarded by Ware. A basket could seal this game. Winfield driving, kicks it out to Mashire. Mashire with a 3, and the potential winning dagger goes
Yeah, that one's going to be tough for St. Bonaventure to come back from. Mashire stepping up when needed most. 56-47, 1 minute left.
Ware driving left, foul called on the baseline. No shot. But St. Bonaventure will inbound underneath their basket. Again, they're down 9 here with 58 seconds to go. So time is running out here for the Bonnies.
Time running out. Just try to get something if you can, and then you got to start playing that foul game. But 56-47, hard to come back from with 57.8 left.
Ware inbounding, trying to get it in. Finally gets it from Jessica Lacine. Ware in the corner, trying to drive left around. Young, swooping layup, well short. Rebounded by Salmons. Buffalo breaks the full court press, gets it back to Stone. Now Winfield in the center circle, foul called by Kara Dandridge.
Yep, and that's going to be her 5th and disqualifying foul.
And she obviously knew that right away, but at this point of the game, St. Bonaventure has to foul, so
of course.
Sending Winfield to the line here at the expense of Kira Dandridge. So Nikki Oppenheimer is going to come into this game. Have not seen a whole lot of her in this one. She only has just 17 minutes, but she will play likely this entire last minute for St. Bonaventure. Winfield at the free throw line. Missed her first, made her second last time there just a few moments ago. Winfield sets. Her first free throw is up, and it swishes through, so Buffalo up 57-47 with 43 seconds remaining.
And that's point number 20 for her on the day.
And now make it 21 as she rattles the second one through. Buffalo up 11. Timeout called by Jesse Fleming. That will be his final timeout here of this game.
Yeah, final timeout here for Jesse. Obviously just trying to draw something up. 21 points for Winfield. We talked about her in the open, we talked about her in the pregame, and well, she came as advertised, that's for sure.
Yeah, she has been absolutely terrific. I mean, a 21-point, 15-rebound double-double. I mean, we still have 43 seconds left remaining, and she's not that big. I mean, she's only 5'7", and really a shooting guard, so pretty terrific stuff out of for the transfer from Glenville State. This is only her first season playing Division I basketball, too, which is even more impressive.
Right, absolutely impressive. And to go against a school like Bonaventure, going from D2 to up here to the D1 ball level. So, and she averages 10.8 rebounds per game. So she's used to she averages a double-double, but I'll tell you what, 15 rebounds and 21 points. It's, well, for lack of a better word, it's pretty impressive.
So, Thomas, Bonaventure's down 11 here, 43 seconds left. I mean, what do they have to do to try anything here to get back in this game and have some sort of shot at it?
Well, quick points would be big here. Obviously, if there was a live betting slide, this it wouldn't be in Bonaventure's favor. Pretty insurmountable odds that you come back from this. But if you're St. Bonaventure, try to do something here and almost put it in your head like I don't know. Imagine you're tied in an A-10 game. Try to almost role play a little bit here.
Playing MAC schools like this will emulate A-10 opponents. Lopes, quick shot up is good. Yeah, Lopes, a quick 15-footer from the baseline. It's back down to 9.
And here's the full court press, yet again.
Buffalo trying to break it. Foul called on Winfield. She's the one who drew that.
That's on Ware. That's her 4th. 34.3 left.
So, yeah, St. Bonaventure had no choice but to foul, of course, though, going with the hot hand. Zakiah Winfield, last time at the line, made both of them, just last time down the floor. Gets ready here. Her first is up, and it's off the back of the rim and out.
Yeah, missed the first one, but good job by UB to get into Winfield's hands, so if they do foul, well, you're sending someone with 21 points here.
Here we go. Winfield's second is up, and that's short and off the rim. So 0 for 2 trip from Zakiah Winfield. Nadeshka Lacine pulls it down. Bonaventure needs points quick. Lacine driving to the hoop. Tough layup, won't go. Rebounded by Winfield. And flipped over to Rashana Stone, and that may do it. St. Bonaventure is not going to foul here. Rashana Stone dribbles it into the center circle, and she's going to run out the time. So St. Bonaventure led by 1 at the half. Trailed by just 1 after 3 quarters, but in the end, it's going to be Buffalo here walking away from the Riley Center with a 58-49 victory, their 4th victory in a row.
4 victories in a row for UB, and now, 4 losses in a row for UB. Oh yeah, well both actually. I can't read my own notes. 4 losses in a row for Bonaventure, 4 wins in a row for UB. So St. Bonaventure has some things to figure out before this weekend against UMass.
So we'll take a quick break here. When we come back, we will speak with St. Bonaventure women's basketball coach Jesse Fleming, and just under 60 seconds here on WSBU 88.3 FM, The Buzz. Welcome back to the Riley Center here in St. Bonaventure, New York. St. Bonaventure falls to Buffalo 58-49. We are joined by St. Bonaventure women's basketball coach Jesse Fleming. Coach, just some opening takeaways here from this game. Obviously, you guys led at the half, but what can you take away from here?
Yeah, terrible start to the game, terrible start to the second half, and then some good stuff in between. We just gotta do something to get us going a little bit there. But I think we spotted them about 14 points at the start of the game. And at the start of the second half, so we had better. The zone was okay here and there. I thought that was good. I thought Taylor Napper had a decent game. Still had a couple silly fouls, but there was some okay stuff, and we're just kind of getting the rust coming back from a crazy travel back to Bonaventure, and we're 0-0 now. All right, it's A10 play. So.
Coach, when you get into foul trouble there, what do you learn about your team when you start subbing in a lot more people than usual, and you have to learn a little bit more about these girls heading into A10 play?
Yeah, I'm glad that they get the opportunity. We're playing a little. We're just kind of a step late. We're kind of sliding in a step late and slapping down, and I just like to see us be a little bit, a little bit more early, and be there, because again, we're putting it in the refs' hands too much. But we're getting Bree Ware's coming along a little bit. They're Claire Cody has some good stretches. So we're starting to get some things from our overall team.
Coach, Sakaya Winfield, 21 points, 16 rebounds for Buffalo. How difficult was she to guard and stop?
She was difficult. I thought she did a good job of kind of cutting and rebounding through the zone. So I thought she did I thought she was she's just really good athlete. I think she won a national title at your Division II, and you can tell she hung in the air and really just kind of found the openings. I thought there was too many times where we closed out too hard to her, and she drove by us, but give her a lot of credit. She's a good player.
Coach, when you look at this game on the tape later on tonight or tomorrow, what's the biggest thing you're going to take away heading into A10 play?
I just think there's these stretches, right, that, I just thought, I thought there was a key stretch where had a couple moving screens. We got into our stuff, we didn't get into our stuff quick enough, or 3 people are running one thing, 2 people are running, and that's on me as a coach. When it's those, 41-41, like we got to execute our stuff, we got to be able to set good screens and space and all that, and we're just not doing that. So, we got to continue to get our execution, but I thought we played better for longer stretches.
And Coach, last thing here, obviously you mentioned now you got 0-0. A10 play starts here Saturday. That's a team. Where do you think you're at right now going to A10 play, and just any opening or any thoughts here on UMass here Saturday?
Yeah, we're farther behind than I wanted to be. I think Tiana's health is a big thing for us, because she's just kind of probably our headiest basketball player, and can get people organized, and that's when you see a little bit of that mess there at the end. We don't have some of our old heads out there. You look at Maddie and T, 2 of the players that really in those situations we'd have them on the floor. But you got to play who you got to play with, and hopefully we get them healthy. But I do feel like we're behind. I wish we were just better at everything, and I got to find more ways to score the ball. We got to be one of the bottom 20 offenses in the country, and I got to, whether creating more through our defense or letting them free play more, I don't know. We got to get better there.
Coach, appreciate the time as always. Best of luck here on Saturday in the A10 opener.
Thank you guys. Take care.
That is St. Bonaventure women's basketball coach Jesse Fleming. When we come back, we will have the rest of the postgame show here on WSBU 88.3 FM. The Buzz. St. Bonaventure falls to Buffalo 58-49. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Riley Center here, where St. Bonaventure falls to Buffalo 58-49 here in the non-conference finale. Thomas Baya, Nathan Solomon here with the post-game show. You just heard some thoughts there from Coach Jesse Fleming. But Thomas, obviously St. Bonaventure here, drops to 3-12 here in non-conference play. That's what we'll finish up at. Buffalo 5-4, but as Coach Fleming mentioned, it is now 0-0 as 8-10 plays just around the corner. But what can you take away from here tonight?
Well, that's got to be the message, by the way, is you have to say, hey, we're 0-0 now. But biggest takeaway, look, Bonaventure definitely had their chances. They had a close game at one point. At one point, they were up by 1 going into into the second half. So they had their chances. They had their looks, couldn't obviously connect, and then UB just started hitting some shots and really stole the game away.
So let's take a look at some stats here. We'll start with the winners, and that is the Buffalo Bulls. Like we said, their 5th win of the season and 4th in a row. And we talked about her all game long, Thomas. Sakaya Winfield, 21 points, 8 of 13 shooting, 16 rebounds. She was phenomenal tonight.
Oh, phenomenal is an understatement. Playing all 40 minutes, just a bulldog for for UB. 8 for 13 from the field. Didn't hit a three-pointer. She was 0 for 1, 5 for 8 from the line. And you mentioned those 16 rebounds, 15 of them being defensive boards. Just an all-around great player. And I think we mentioned it about 17 times on the broadcast. You know, for having 16 rebounds, she's not overly big. She's only 5'7", so really impressive player for UB. And I know she's a 5th year, but you got to think Coach Burke is loving having her on her squad.
And other contributors for Buffalo, Rashana Stone, a very quiet 13 points. She was 6 of 14 from the field and 1 of 3 from downtown. Amerita Mashire, 10 points off of 4 for 7 shooting, including the dagger there with about a minute left from 3-point land. She was 1 of 3 for downtown. That was really all of Buffalo's scoring there. Jasmine Young had 7 points, 2 of 12 from the field, so St. Bonaventure did a good job on her. Now, for the Monis, a little bit of a balanced distribution there. Yaya Lopes had 15 points. 8 came in the first quarter, 7 came in the fourth quarter. So she was St. Bonaventure's leading scorer there at 15 points. She also pulled down a team-high 7 rebounds. Taylor Napper had 11 points off a perfect 5 for 5 shooting, so a big bounce-back performance for her. And Nadeshka Lassine did not get the start today, but came in and played 32 minutes off the bench, 10 points, all in the first half, 4 of 10 from the field, and 1 of 2 from downtown. Kira Dandridge added 6 points, Brianna Ware added 4 points, and Claire Cody added a 3-pointer in the second half.
Well, looking at St. Bonaventure, obviously you do have that distribution, but the big thing with them was it was very streaky. You mentioned how Yaya Lopes, had 8 points in the first quarter and then 7 in the fourth quarter. Quiet in those middle 2 quarters. And then, you look at Taylor Napper and then obviously some others with Lassine. So you just want to have more consistency, and when one starts to get a little cold, you need somebody else to step up.
So St. Bonaventure is going to have a quick turnaround, but this is not something that they're not used to. They've had a lot of these quick turnarounds really all season long and in non-conference play. I mean, again, they played 15 non-conference games, but tomorrow they'll practice, and then they will head out to Massachusetts, where they will take on the UMass Minutewomen in the Atlantic 10 opener. That will be Saturday afternoon. But Thomas, I mean, what can you take away from this game for St. Bonaventure that they can apply to Saturday? Obviously, they were missing 2 of their key players, Tiana Johnson and Maddie Diskowski, and the goal is to get them back for that game Saturday. But what can you kind of take away and apply to this 8-10 opener?
Well, that's big, and I'm glad Jesse Fleming did mention the health of those 2 players. Obviously, big players that will start and play a lot of minutes for them, so really important for them to get those 2 players back in Maddie and Tiana. But, I respect how Jesse was saying how, he has to be better. And, we talk a lot about how players need to be better, and I respect a coach being able to look us in the eye and say, hey, I need to be better too. So obviously Coach Fleming has to learn some things about, how to get this team some more offensive points. But, right now, you just want to, just what Fleming said, we're 0-0. It's a new slate. It's almost a new season. You could kind of spin it that way too. But obviously not how you wanted to go into 8-10 play, but right now you just got to take positives, and as they say, it's never as good or bad as it is on film. So we'll have to see what Coach Fleming can draw up for this team and see how they do in 8-10 play.
And they will have that 16-game conference slate to set the field in the bracket for the all-important Atlantic 10 tournament there in the beginning of March. So that is really all that matters for St. Bonaventure. They've certainly learned a lot about this team in non-conference play, but those 15 games here in non-conference play, we've seen them a lot so far, Thomas. Again, 3-12, that's obviously not what they wanted. But what have you learned and what have you seen out of the St. Bonaventure squad in non-conference play as a whole?
Well, it comes down to the word consistency, and they get scoring at times from some people, and sometimes they have good games, sometimes they have bad games. Yaya Lopes had a nice game today, 15, but we talked about it sometimes how she's making a lot of shots and then she's missing a lot of shots. So you want to find a consistency there, and then again we talked about the health, but the biggest takeaway is you have to find ways to score, and it seemed like sometimes St. Bonaventure would rely on almost 3 different sets, 3 different plays, and it seems like they need to try to find something else that worked and play to their strengths, play to their pace. Sometimes let the game almost attack them when they need to be on offense. The old saying, be the hammer, not the nail. Right now that's the big thing for St. Bonaventure.
So as you mentioned, quick turnaround. They'll play UMass Saturday at 2 p.m. Coverage will start here on WSBU 88.3 The Buzz online at 1:45 p.m. Saturday. And then they will return home to host George Mason on January 5th. That'll be a 7 p.m. tip. Coverage will start at 6:45, and then they will host George Mason on George Washington, so the 2 D.C. area schools on January 8th. That will be a 1 p.m. tip. Coverage will begin right here on The Buzz at 12:45. Before we go, Thomas, any final thoughts from here tonight?
Well, final thoughts. Obviously, the end of non-conference play, so it'll be big for St. Bonaventure to start going in the right direction. And I'll tell you this, I'm really looking forward to seeing how this team bounces back. And it's a really tough first test against UMass, who is 10-3 in non-conference play. So starting off strong, and we'll see if they can bounce back.
UMass always one of the greatest threats in the Atlantic 10. Will be a huge early test for St. Bonaventure. That will do it here from the Riley Center. It is exactly 6 p.m. here on the East Coast. St. Bonaventure falls to Buffalo 58-49. Again, our next broadcast will be Saturday beginning at 1:45 here on The Buzz. Thomas Byer, Nathan Solomon here saying so long and have a great night.